Hi guys, so as promised, I will be doing a video review, Holger Rune versus Novak Djokovic. I think this matchup is interesting for so many reasons. On one hand, you have Novak Djokovic. For many years, he's been the #1 player in the world. I consider him to be the best player of all time. If you know me personally, I think he just has such a solid game. Every aspect, especially on hard court of his game, is next to perfect. He's got one of the best backhands, I think an underrated forehand, great serve, consistent tactics. He can play an all-court game now too. He's developed at the net. I really think he kind of sets the standard for hard court tennis. And then you have Holger Rune on the other hand. He's been having a fantastic tournament this year, a kind of a breakout season. Didn't have a whole lot of success on the ATP Tour in 2021, but this year he made quarterfinals of French Open. He's won 2 titles so far, and recently he's been in fantastic form. He just had a title run a few weeks ago, lost in the final to Marc-André Huesler, I believe, but it was a good tournament nonetheless. He won a title in Stockholm, I believe, beating Stefanos Tsitsipas in straight sets in the final. So a great result there. Final against Felix Auger-Aliassime not that long ago. So he's been playing a lot of tennis, but his great form continues. First match of the Paris Masters, he actually saves match points to beat Stan Wawrinka. If he doesn't get through this match, he doesn't go on his even more incredible run to follow, beating 4 top 10 players and then 5 if you count Novak Djokovic, beating Hurkacz, Rublev, retirement against Carlos Alcaraz, but he was first set ahead, and beating Felix Auger-Aliassime in straight sets after he was on a 16-match win streak. So obviously he's playing really well. He's in incredible form. He just got new coach Patrick Mouratoglou. I think incredibly highly of him. He's coached so many incredibly high-level players, and he just has a major impact on professional tennis. I really think very highly of him. It's interesting that he's head coaching Holger Rune now, especially after how well Halep started playing, right after Patrick Mouratoglou joined her camp. So something really seems to be going right between them. It also takes a certain level of maturity to beat Djokovic. There's lots of talented players that he's been able to beat down just being a wall and being consistent. So Holger Rune must have taken his game somewhat to the next level to beat Djokovic, and I can't wait to see what that is. I hope you enjoy me for the review. So at the beginning of matches, I like to do a tactics breakdown. I haven't seen Holger Rune play a ton actually personally, but obviously I've seen Djokovic play for so many years on the tour and win so many big titles. With Djokovic, you know what to expect. He's going to be super consistent. He's not going to give you any unforced errors. Solid from the backhand, solid from the forehand. And one thing about Djokovic that I guess people talk about it, but it can be overlooked. He's a fantastic mover. Even if you get him way on the stretch on the forehand or way on the stretch on the backhand, he's still going to be able to hit a very dangerous shot. So it's super hard to get the ball by him. Even if you put him on the stretch, like I said, he's going to give you a deep, aggressive ball back. Also, I think his game has developed in many ways as he's gotten older in his career. He has fantastic touch now. His drop shot is a major weapon. I think his net play has continued to get better. If he's at the net, you rarely see him have any weaknesses, and he almost always puts the volley away. And also his first serve, it's a major weapon now. When you watch his serve, how many times he's able to get aces right on the line or in big moments is just remarkable to me. His precision on serve is so incredible. So if his first serve is firing, it's even tougher to break him. And obviously he's a major weapon on return. Holger Rune, on the other hand, watching some of his matches recently, I think his forehand is a major weapon. He's super fast, super athletic. Probably not quite as much as a Carlos Alcaraz or a Felix Auger-Aliassime, but he's still a very aggressive player, great mover. And where I think he's a little bit stronger and compensates for his lack of athleticism compared to Felix and Carlos, he seems to have a very solid, no weakness, all-court game. Yes, he has a good forehand, not the biggest forehand in the world, but a very good forehand. And that's combined with a very good backhand as well. I think his backhand is probably at a higher level than Carlos Alcaraz and Felix Auger-Aliassime. He can stay neutral with the best players there, probably even Djokovic, and he can even rip it down the line in a big moment. I don't know a lot about his serve, but I assume it's a decent weapon. So expectations for the rallies. I know Djokovic is going to be consistent. Holger's going to look to attack. Can he overcome Djokovic's defensive prowess and break through him? Will Djokovic be able to wear down the young player who's been playing a lot? We'll see. A little bit of a shaky start from Djokovic. Up 40 love, back to deuce. Is he a little nervous for this match, playing the younger player? What did I say about the volleys, huh? Still a good passing shot from Holger Rune. Great point. So an interesting analytic here about Djokovic's second serve. Look how much he spreads it out in his targets across the box. Most players serve religiously to the backhand on the second serve. Does Djokovic mix up his second serve so much just because he has confidence in his second serve? Or is it because it's strategically beneficial to him to move his second serve targets around the box? Holger Rune starting to serve here. He has 4 top 10 wins already, but in his first Masters final against Novak Djokovic, he's got to be feeling the nerves. Patrick Mouratoglou says, good job for winning the first point on his serve. Fantastic start. I think there's a fat chick or something in his way. He keeps trying to look around someone to see his coaching disciple. So one thing I've noticed about Holger in recent weeks, his aggressive forehand taking it inside the court has been a dynamite weapon. But there he's a few inches off. Is that the caliber of Djokovic's return? Or a little bit of nerves and doubt to start? So Djokovic actually hits a very good return there, deep and sharp, but Holger does a great job taking the forehand on the rise and changing direction. That could be a good sign of what's to come. Yeah, I mean, there it is again, getting up to the forehand so early and putting Djokovic under tremendous pressure. Looks like the old cat has a little bit of that aggressive tennis too. Bam! How about the play from Holger Rune there? Fantastic tennis. One thing I like about both players is that they're able to play with both spin and flat. I think many players get trapped into the bubble of either only being able to hit loopy topspin or flat and fast. I think the ability to do both, depending on the situation, is one of the keys to playing great tennis. Special appearance here by legend Stefan Edberg. It's great to see the older generation of players come out to support the new generation. Holger Rune able to switch gears here, close out at the net. Double fault to give up the break. Djokovic is now in dangerous position to win this first set. Holger showing he's willing to stay consistent with Djokovic. I think that's a great sign going forward. One thing I should mention, this is their second head-to-head meeting. The first meeting came at the US Open last year. Holger Rune was a very new player to the tour. I believe he actually had to qualify. It did go 4 sets. Holger Rune stole the second set in a tiebreaker, but the other 3 sets were very lopsided in Djokovic's favor. I think Holger Rune is getting a little bit frustrated. The opening points of this match have not been going his way. That's a great play there from Holger Rune. I think Djokovic is a super solid player, but one thing these young players have an advantage in is they have a great ability to attack off the forehand wing and be aggressive. Holger Rune's going to need to use that to his advantage if he's going to be successful. Oh, no wonder he's considered one of the best backhands of all time. Wow. Wow, what a close. I thought he was playing too recklessly, but that's a fantastic play at the net. Great volleys. Now, I don't know how he's able to get that shot to land, just a blind rip, but he's been making it like every tournament I've been seeing him playing. Either his timing's getting really good or he's got some fantastic technique. I'd love to learn more about that weapon. Sweet. What do you guys think of Djokovic's return setup and footwork? Everyone has their own style, but I think it's just fantastic. Holger Rune is in a lot of trouble in this first set, but a point like that's going to give him confidence. Holger Rune is able to take the ball so early here and play so aggressive. He actually plays a fantastic point. But Djokovic still manages to get out of trouble and fend off the pressure. Don't know how he does it. So it's a great point here by Holger Rune. He does not want to go down a second break, and he has a fantastic play at the net. He's really proving he's a great volleyer compared to some other members of the younger generation who aren't as confident there. Djokovic able to play with such precision, right on the line. Djokovic came to play this match. Excellent opening set of tennis. We know just how good he is with a one-set lead. Let's see how Holger Rune is able to come back in this match. Good first set from Holger Rune, but unforced errors are just a little bit high for a player of Djokovic's caliber. We'll see if anything's able to change in the second set. So one thing I'm shocked about is that Djokovic's ground stroke speed is actually a little bit faster than Holger Rune's. Maybe it's Djokovic's consistent speed versus Holger Rune's occasional really fast ball that is making the difference in that average. Very interesting stat. Djokovic is now going lockdown mode from the baseline. He's not letting anything get by him. Wow, and after losing the first set, he goes down love 40 in his opening service game. Not the sign you want to see if you're a young player going against former world number one. Wow, and Holger Rune saves 3 break points in fantastic fashion to save the third. Uncharacteristically though, Djokovic made an error on the 2 previous points. Back to deuce. There again, it's the serve out wide followed by the quick forehand down the line for the winner. Do you have a serve out wide hit to the open court play in your playbook? Wow, wild error from Novak Djokovic. It's Holger Rune that now has a break point in Djokovic's opening service game. It's crazy how fast the momentum can change in tennis. Wow, and it's Holger Rune who starts up the second set 2-0. And you just know that if he got broken his opening service game, he would not have broken there. That's why it's so important to stay engaged at all times in tennis, because you never know when your chance is coming. Djokovic is clearly getting irritated. He's got to be very frustrated with himself for letting that opening chance to break go and then getting broken on his own serve with some errors. Incredible mental resolve though, to come back and play a fantastic point when you're clearly not feeling your best. Now 3-0 from Holger Rune. The quality of this match is really starting to shine through. Both players are moving fantastically from the baseline and playing excellent patterns in terms of cross court and down the line. One thing you have to do if you're going to beat Djokovic is you have to be very strategically sound. How about the touch from the young player? One thing Holger Rune is doing is he's going bigger on the second serve. I think that's a great strategy against a player like Djokovic. He's so good on return, if you really give him easy chances, he's going to hurt you. One thing Holger Rune seems to be doing better than some of Djokovic's other young rivals, such as Medvedev, Zverev, and Tsitsipas, is closing points at the net. I think that's really important against someone who's so good from the baseline like Djokovic. Wow, what a shot under pressure. If he loses that point, he goes down 15-40. Makes an error on the previous point, but comes back firing. Talk about the quality here. Excellent play from both players. One thing the commentators pointed out is that Djokovic is very good at winning these scramble points. You can see Holger Rune backs up a little bit, gives himself some space to rip the ground strokes, and he's able to win the point. Djokovic is frustrated with himself for losing that point. Holger Rune holds serve to stay at 5-2 in the set. I believe that was a crucial game. A 5-2 lead versus 3-4 on serve. He's starting to feel better on court, feeling more confident. He's ready to fight to get one more ball back against Djokovic to keep putting him under pressure. 5-3, a chance to serve for the second set against his idol. Bold drop shot from Holger Rune there on pretty much a neutral ball. Djokovic is clearly taken by surprise. Wow, Holger Rune is clearly going for it with his chance to close out the second set. He is showing no sign of nerves. An excellent second set by Holger Rune. A lot of players say it, but you can tell he deeply believes he can beat anyone in the world if he plays his game. Now Djokovic was actually more solid on his serve than Holger Rune was in the second set, but he's able to take advantage of that one break lead and hold on from there to win the set. Now you just have to think back to when Djokovic had 40 love on Holger Rune's serve. If he breaks there and he goes up 2-0, as the favorite in the match against a younger player, does he then have the confidence and momentum to close this out in straight sets? Incredible fight back from Holger Rune though. You've got to give him credit for giving his all in the biggest stage he's played in his career. Look how good Holger Rune's backhand quality was in that second set. I'm not very familiar with this stat. I think it's something new that ATP is working on, but I think it's becoming very clear that Holger Rune truly has one of the top backhands in the tour, even at such a young age. Holger Rune is really proving what a great competitor he is. I feel like some players lack a little bit of resolve in the final moments, but he is truly showing he's going to play his absolute best tennis and fight his hardest till the very last point. Great sign for his career going forward. Rock solid service game from Djokovic. Holger Rune is really going to have to stay strong on serve if he wants to stay even in this third set. It's Djokovic who draws first blood in the deciding set. It's hard to imagine Holger Rune coming back here. Djokovic is so strong with a one-break lead. You can see Djokovic stretching out his muscles a lot this match. I think one disadvantage he has this year, having to miss a lot of matches, is that he's not quite in the condition maybe he used to be. Here's a great backhand-to-backhand exchange from the players. You can see Djokovic is very smart about when he hits the two-hand backhand versus when he goes for a slice, such as right there, low ball on the stretch, great slice deep in the corner, followed by a fantastic backhand down the line. Djokovic gets the better of that exchange. Now here's a play I love here from Holger Rune. He gives that awkward short slice in the court. Now in that position, there's really nothing for Djokovic to do. He either needs to play that ball and run back to the baseline, which is disadvantageous, or he has to make a hasty approach to the net when he's not really in control. Great job by Holger Rune, putting him in an awkward position. How about the hands? What a play to set a break point to get back in this match. What a passing shot. Amazing rally to break back and get even in this match. Incredible return game from Holger Rune. Djokovic is getting the physio treatment here, but mentally he's going to be giving everything he has to win this match. Djokovic is a very dangerous returner after getting broken in the previous game. It's going to take Holger some serious mental willpower to get back to 3-all. That drop shot has been very effective from Holger Rune today. I did not realize that was such a strong weapon in his repertoire. Ooh, how good was that from Novak? He really is incredible about getting that left base leg out to make that pass. Deuce here, with a chance to break for a 5-3 lead, Djokovic is going to play his absolute best return tennis. Aggressive play after having hit a second serve. Great point in the key moment. Wow. Holger Rune proving he can hit a great down-the-line backhand too. Djokovic has been solid on serve. Holger Rune has to win this service game to stay in the match. Goes to Old Reliable. Serve out wide, followed by a big forehand to the open court. Now if you watch the highlights, they show a lot of long, grueling rallies, but both players are looking to attack, especially off the first serve, and play first strike tennis. You can see how early Holger Rune is willing to take the ball, steps inside the baseline. Djokovic does make an unforced error, but you have to assume that Holger Rune's court positioning was the influence on Djokovic feeling the pressure and thus hitting the ball a little bit longer than he normally would. Now it's the defense and scrambling here from Holger Rune that draws the error. I think a lot of people know Djokovic is so consistent, so they just try to batter him with pace and go really high risk, but I think that plays to his advantage because he's so good on defense. I think with these really consistent players, if you put the pressure on them to go for a winner, you can get more errors than you expect. Now he's one service game away from achieving one of the biggest dreams in his young career. For anyone that's seen this game in the highlight, it is a marathon last service game. I can't wait to break it down with you guys. Look at that return strike, deep in the corner. Djokovic is not done yet. We'll see if that sends a message. How about that location on the court? Look how short the ball was in the corner. He's playing that forehand from way outside the deuce line on basically a ball in the middle of the court. That's some great control and angle on that forehand, way on the outside of the ball. 2 big serves to get back to 30 all. That's some serious clutch play. Big point here. If Holger Rune wins, he gets a match point. If Djokovic wins here, he gets a break point to play for a tiebreaker. If it goes to a tiebreaker, I do not like the young Danish player's chances. Clean overhead, break point. Big serve, big forehand, gets him out of trouble. Back to deuce. A rare miss on the approach forehand though. He is heated and it is a second break point for Djokovic. That is a shocking miss from Djokovic on the neutral forehand. When he has a solid return in play, he's gotta like his chances to win the rally. I'm sure he's frustrated with himself for that miss, but he knows he has to stay focused here. Djokovic absorbs some initial pace from Holger Rune. Now he's on attack. Clean as a whistle on the forehand. Djokovic is in control in this point. He's on the front foot. Holger Rune is playing defense. That's a great backhand cross court. He has a forehand to attack there. Good slice. Djokovic is beating up the backhand corner. That is a great return from Holger Rune out of the backhand corner. I think Djokovic goes for the right shot on a drop shot. Holger Rune was far out of the court, but the backhand is just good enough from Holger Rune to put Djokovic under serious pressure. It is now a 4th break point saved by Holger Rune in this last game. He really bets on himself when pressure is on the line. This is the point that was all over highlights, all over Instagram. I really love how they're adapting to the ball they're given, just trying to stay neutral, not make things easy for their opponent. Djokovic attacks there though. What a defensive lob. That's kind of like a Djokovic-Nadal specialty. Switches up with a drop shot. Deep half volley. Holger Rune runs back. And Djokovic is there in position. Not many words for that point, just outstanding quality. Love to see the movement and shot variety from both players. You can tell the crowd loves it. Bold move to come to the net, but the pressure's enough. Djokovic pulls the backhand a little bit wide. Back to deuce. Remarkable considering it was another second serve point. Even off a great return, the quality is good enough from Holger Rune. Plays a textbook point. Now into match point. First serves have not been his friend this game. And a double fault on match point. Wow. We know now that he wins this match, but if he loses the match from there after double faulting on match point, man, he would regret that. A forehand error from Rune, slaps his legs. Perhaps a little bit of fatigue beginning to show. It's been a long few weeks from him, but he's so close to the finish line. But Djokovic, he's practically a machine on the other end. It's not going to be easy. Fights off a 6th break point in this last game. Sometimes that's the mark of a champion, to be able to play his best points under the most pressure. And the depth is key, right next to Djokovic's feet. Second match point to come. Here's one of the interesting things about tennis. He saved 3 match points in his first round. If he loses one of those points just by chance, even by something as simple as a let cord, none of this dream run to a Masters 1000 title with 1,000 points on the line, 5 top 10 wins never happens. So I know it may be discouraging for players if they're losing first round, if they're losing close matches, but just keep at it, keep pushing. Your time is coming. Sometimes you just need 1-2 extra points to achieve your biggest dreams. Well, thanks to everyone for watching my, I guess this is my 3rd match review now, but first one to be posted on YouTube. This was probably one of the best matches I've seen. I've seen a lot of good matches, but quality from beginning to end. Djokovic really did not play a bad match. He had countless opportunities throughout, was perhaps even the better player in multiple situations, but just on those key points, he came up a little bit short. Some of the moments I remember are the 3 break points at the beginning of the second set. He makes 2 errors. Then Holger Rune plays a great point to save the third. And then in that third set, as you saw in the last game, 6 break points to even it at 6-all. Djokovic is such a good tiebreak player throughout his career. I think with his experience and Holger Rune's nerves after not serving it out, I think that goes to Djokovic. So just hairs away from him for not winning, but hats off to Holger Rune for playing the match of his life. Fantastic quality. I think to beat Djokovic, you need every single part of your game working. Served well, forehand was excellent. Djokovic almost always wins the backhand-to-backhand exchanges, but Holger Rune was at least holding his own, if not winning the better half of them. And his aggressive tennis really made the big difference, I'd say. So if you're a player trying to get better, tennis is a hard sport, but have a serve +1. You're always going to be under pressure, facing big points. You want to be able to have a first serve and a big forehand or big backhand that you can go to. Sorry, my phone battery was low, but I had an amazing time watching this match. This match says a lot about what's going forward. I think Djokovic has been doing really well recently against almost all players. Recent win against Medvedev, recent win against Tsitsipas, but Holger Rune at only 19 years old is able to get the better of him in a hard court final. Sometimes with these younger players, you don't really know what the future holds. You can sometimes see them get a big win and then fall off a little bit. Khachanov won this tournament against Djokovic, I think 5 years ago, and he hasn't really done anything big since. But looking at Holger Rune, it's hard to imagine he's not a star of the future. He's got a great mindset, great all-court game. He's got a great team around him, and he's clearly passionate about the game, and he's very competitive. He wants to win every single point, and there's nothing he doubts himself to achieve. Thanks for watching my first video. Please like, comment, and share. Give your feedback below. This is my first posted review. I'd like to do more of them, and I'd like to improve my review skills. So comment below, and thanks for joining me.